Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this will be my last and final attempt to film this questions video. I tried filming it on my nice camera a week ago, and at the very end of my filming, my camera died. And I'm just kind of over it. I'm over filming that video just because it's just, maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign that this video shouldn't be out. But without further ado, I'm gonna try right here in my room the last time. The questions that you guys actually asked are more on a serious, actually let me get to know you type. So I'm gonna answer these questions to the best of my ability. Here we go. So the first question is by Hot Pockets 69. How much spaghetti can you fit in your vagina? Actually, question back for you is the spaghetti cooked or uncooked? Because if it's cooked, I feel like you could fit a lot more squishy noodles in there as opposed to hard, scratchy noodles. And I don't want to do that. Let me know in the comments, are you talking squishy noodles or hard noodles? This is by Wolf Rave. What's your biggest pet peeve and what brought you to the Marine Corps? Biggest pet peeve by far is boogers. Or if someone farts in your direction. Like I'm not like a super hater on someone who farts. Obviously, you know, everyone farts just like everyone poops. I don't know. I just feel like it's so grimy. If someone comes up to you and purposely farts in your direction, that's so fucking rude. And boogers, I hate when they be like doing this little, that grosses me out. What brought you to the Marine Corps? I guess what brought me to the Marine Corps was honestly just the way I was living my life before. I wasn't like a terrible person, but like I was going to school and I wasn't really doing what I should have been doing. I was kind of gaffing off and like spending money I didn't have and just really not caring about my education. And I used to skip a lot of class, and this was in college. So it's like one time I skipped class to go smoke some
wacky tobacco.
And I was going into the mall and I walked through these doors, and in that part of the mall is where all the recruiters are. Like you got the Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Army. There was a Marine Corps recruiter standing outside. I was going in to get a Cinnabon and he caught me and he was like, hey, you want to talk about the Marine Corps? It kind of like stopped me in my tracks just because I was kind of like, damn, you know, like I've always never really known what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I just kind of felt like eventually I would find out through my journey of college, but military was always in the back of my mind. I just never thought I would be one to be like, yeah, let's go. But that day, something like about me skipping class when I knew I really should have been in class that day, this was probably a sign. And then from there, it's just, I kind of just jumped the board because he gave me all the standards of what the Marine Corps requires of you. And I used to be a big girl. And so just thinking that I can join something that's like so high, like the top quality, you know, that made me feel better. So that's what drew me into the Marine Corps. T, get the hell off my laptop. Thank you. Next question. Big Magan asks, what made you want to use a butt plug for the first time? What didn't? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I've never really been into that. Well, when I first started.
No, okay, that's irrelevant.
Back then I was just like not about it. I was never like down to do butt stuff or nothing, but I was dating this guy. Attractive wise, I'll give it to him, you know, he was really cute. I knew we were really compatible. Like I was something kind of different, he was something kind of different, but I think we both were just trying to make a relationship work that we kind of in the back of our heads knew it probably wasn't gonna last. Really trying to push my limits and trying to get a little out of my comfort zone to try to make this guy happy. I was just looking for something to spice up my relationship. Don't do that, don't do what I did. Next question. This one is by Thomas Naruzzi. What is your ambition and or goals in life? How do you plan on getting there and what keeps you motivated? My ambitions and goals. I think my end goal is to just be content with myself and be content with my life, I think, and not be on my deathbed being like, I could have done more. That's pretty much it. How do I plan on getting there and what keeps me motivated? I think getting there has been kind of a journey. There's a lot of people who know a lot, well, at least I guess a lot of my friends know, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of my friends follow me on here, so that's kind of cool. But I was in like a pretty sticky situation a year and a half ago. Just like being in a pretty abusive relationship, and it was just kind of hard. I was not saying anything, like I wasn't seeing like a light at the end of the tunnel. It just didn't seem too bright for me, and I was just kind of over it, and I just didn't think that, you know, I'd be motivated. If I'm gonna say one thing that keeps me motivated, and it has been keeping me motivated for a while, and especially out of that, is this person. Well, he's not a person. The biggest cat in the world, dude. This is why I work hard. Because this kid right here, the same one my tattoo right here. This is the reason I work hard. Yo, somebody called me and it stopped the camera and I was about to freak out. I was like,
we're doing this again.
and it's gonna
Delete everything.
Oh my gosh, okay. Next question. C. Kansas asks, what's your take on marriage? Okay, so I recorded my answer earlier and I kind of just didn't like it. I was just going all over the place. So what my take on marriage is, I mean, it's good for you if you want it and you got it. I think it used to be something that overall took my mind and it's something that I really wanted, but I don't think it's really something that I want so much right now. If I'm just trying to grab it just to grab it, I think it's important to like somebody and have them as a good friend. But it's also scary that if it's not going to work out, it's a little bit more complicated to break up with someone in a divorce than it is to break up with someone as a boyfriend and girlfriend. But yeah, I think that's a good answer. Another question by Wolf Rave is, what is the weirdest thing that's happened to you on duty? I don't think I've ever really had anything weird happen to me on duty. Or at least that I can remember. I remember there was a stain on the third deck and it was nighttime out there and the lights. If you were stationed on Cherry Point and you know the barracks for 274 and like between comm and stuff, you know, it's all in there. You know those barracks on the top floor, there's like a stain on the third deck and it looks like it's something dripping. And the light is not bright. So I was looking at it, I was like, that looks like blood. And I thought someone was bleeding. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like super scared and told the guy downstairs, like, hey dude, I think there's blood up there. He went up there and he's like, no, I started scratching it, it's paint. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you could have messed up a whole crime scene. Like, you don't want to touch the blood. Big Daddy Wominator asked, how many marshmallows can you fit in your mouth? For that, I need to go get marshmallows. Give me 1 second. I got the mellows. So now this last one, gotta save it best for last. John and I Banner, what is the saddest thing a guy has done to you? I think the saddest thing, and the first time I did record this, I gave like way too much detail, and I think that's what made me start crying, and I just like, no, this feels like, I don't wanna put that out. I'm just gonna get to it and get to that part that was terrible. Saddest thing he's ever done. Well, a guy in my last relationship, it was terrible. And I think the sad thing and what's been very hard for me to get over is when I was pregnant, I was living with him and his best friends and they didn't know and he didn't want them to know. It was the day that we went to go get an abortion and they give you one pill in there and then I had gotten it right when the cutoff of doing the pill one and there were like 4 pills that you had to do like 4 hours after vaginally or 6 hours after I think vaginally or 12 hours like orally, and he wanted to get it done as soon as possible. So once that 4 hours came, he was like, okay, let's go, let's do it. And I was too scared to do it myself to put them in there, and so I asked him to do it because I was crying and it was just very hard. And when he started to do it, I started to push away because I was scared and I was just like really sad. And he like pulled me back and told me to shut up because he didn't want his roommates to hear me crying. So yeah, I think that was the saddest one. Okay, you know what? We're gonna cut it there. Yeah. Damn. See, this is why I don't want to answer those kind of questions right now. Like, I don't think I'm like totally ready to talk about everything that went down there. I think I like do little subtle things, like maybe on like my Facebook or something, or like Snapchat or something. I do little subtle jumps out to, or obviously to people that I'm close with. Like, I feel like they know like a majority of what went on in there. But I'm not all there to where I want to really talk about it, and I know if I start talking more I'll start crying, and I just don't want to right now. When I'm ready to talk about it, I'll talk about it. I just see like a little bit of me talking about it and then having to edit it and put it on the internet. It takes a lot of time for me to really have to go down through this, and it feels like I want everyone's sympathy, and I don't want people's sympathy. I want people to learn from my mistakes, you know. I just don't want other people to be in that type of situation that I was, and it just feels weird, and it just feels like I'm like belittling it or something if I talk about it, cry, and then do all this. I think me trying to edit it takes something away from that, and I don't want to do that. That's all the questions I got. If you guys want more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, or when I do another poll on my Instagram, make sure to comment your questions. But yeah, thank you guys for actually answering and responding. I appreciate that. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that way you get a notification every time I make a post. And let me know what you guys think below. Did I answer the questions to how you wanted them to be answered? Did you expect what I was going to tell you? Thanks guys. See you guys next week, and goodbye.